Welcome to the Mendano Podcast. We're calling a spade a spade. Caitlin Clark continues to embarrass the rest of the WNBA, continues to shame the rest of the WNBA, continues to absolutely obliterate any and everybody who thought there was some kind of draw when it comes to the WNBA. Folks, it is clear as day. People are only tuning in to watch Caitlin Clark play at an abnormal rate. The rest of the league, but Caitlin Clark, people are still taking time out of their day. 7 o'clock, 7:30. All right, kids, gather around the TV. All right, guys, come on down. Let's get in the living room. All right, everybody huddle up in the family room to watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. And even 3 months into the season, let the good times roll. Folks, what did I tell you when it comes to the WNBA and ratings? When the ratings are impressive, boom, they're pumping the ratings out like that. When the ratings are embarrassing, disappointing, basura, the WNBA finds the nearest storage closet to shove all those garbage numbers in. It just turns out those garbage numbers never have to do with the Indiana Fever or a Caitlin Clark game. Folks, the first time the Las Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever met on NBA TV, it did 333,000. 333,000 the first time these two teams butted heads this WNBA season. Fast forward nearly 3 months. This past Wednesday, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, this time going up against the Las Vegas Aces, double that and then some. The game averaged 678,000 viewers on NBA TV, marking it the largest WNBA audience ever on the network. The previous high was set earlier this month by a Fever Wings game on Sunday of Labor Day weekend. That Labor Day weekend, by the way, College Football Sunday. We will get into that. Don't worry. Folks, we're going to need to start using the term PCE. You know how when you're going through your history times, you have 200 AD, 215 BC. We're going to need to use PCE as in the pre-Clark era. NBA TV has now set a WNBA viewership record 8 separate times this season, all from games involving Caitlin Clark. Prior to the PCE, no WNBA game on the network had ever averaged more than 210,000. Folks, in the PCE era, the WNBA was an afterthought on NBA TV. My 75-year-old father would have no idea where to find that channel. Now, he's sitting down like clockwork. Boop, 221. Boop, 221. Caitlin Clark continues to be the main drawing force behind the WNBA and all of their viewership records. Let's take a look. Most watched games on NBA TV this past year. 2 out of the top 3, in fact, the top 2 games, both involving the Indiana Fever. 3 of the top 5 games, all involving the Indiana Fever and all surpassing 600,000 viewers at one time. This far into the WNBA season, Caitlin Clark is still drawing viewership at a rate the WNBA could only go to sleep and dream of. Following that game, following the Las Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever last night, Wednesday night, Storm vs. Sparks. Yes, folks, you're reading that correctly. 124,000 people stuck around to watch the Seattle Storm go up against the Los Angeles Sparks. That is absolutely embarrassing. That is disgusting. That is disappointing. That is nothing to brag about. I'm surprised the WNBA even allowed that number to come out. In fact, I'm sure they're paying off Nielsen right now to make sure numbers like that never get leaked again. 124,000 people Seattle Storm versus Los Angeles Sparks. That is kind of what the WNBA has been used to the past 20 years or so. Garbage number after garbage number, embarrassing viewership after embarrassing viewership. Caitlin Clark is the only one that can consistently draw monstrous numbers. Folks, this past Sunday, the final ABC game, ESPN game between the New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces averaged a measly 277,000 views. 277,000 people sat down and watched a WNBA Finals rematch from last year during the opening season of the NFL, during opening Sunday of the NFL season. Now I know, but that's the NFL. They went heads up against the NFL. Well, does that really matter? Fever links 1.52 million on Channel 3 going heads up against the NFL on Peacock, which averaged 14 million viewership. Just so you guys have an idea, Cowboys, Browns averaged north of 20 million Sunday afternoon. Packers, Eagles averaged north of 14 million Friday evening because 1.52 million people were busy watching a Christie side special as the Indiana Fever lost to the Minnesota Lynx. But prior to that week, the old Labor Day weekend that I brought up earlier in this video, Fever Wings gave you 652,000 viewers on NBA TV. At the time, that was the largest audience that network has ever seen. And the competition that game went up against is nothing to sneeze at, right? We're talking the NFL. The NFL's big business, don't get me wrong. But I already showed you Lynx Fever going up against Packers Eagles. Caitlin Clark still managed to draw over 1 million viewers. So the fact that the Lynx and the Aces, the Aces and the Liberty on ABC didn't even get to 300,000, that's pathetic and embarrassing. And everybody needs to look themselves in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong? Why don't people want to watch me play? Well, nothing about your game stands out. Labor Day weekend, going head-to-head against the Fever Wings. What did we have? College football. We had the Paris Paralympics, both giving you over 1 million viewership. USC, LSU, 8.62 million at the time. NASCAR, 2.4 million. We had the US Open going on, almost 1 million viewership. And then what do you know? Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever up against the Dallas Wings still give you 652,000 viewers. 652,000 viewers stuck around to watch Caitlin Clark play. Instead of watching LSU, Brian Kelly go up against USC, Lincoln Riley, people sat down, turned on NBA TV, and watched Caitlin Clark go to town. It's no question who the driving force is in the WNBA. We only have, 3-4 more games until the season's over. We see the Aces again tomorrow. I'm shooting for a better outcome. I am shooting for a win. I hope we win. We need to win. We need to prove to ourselves that we could go up against the better teams in the league and not have Christie sides screw it up at the end of the day. Now it is on Ion. And it is going to do over 1 million views. Make no mistake about it. I'm interested to see how next year is going to pan out because we already know the hype is still there. But next year, are people going to stick around? Once the Indiana Fever get knocked out of the playoffs, if they get knocked out of the playoffs, are people going to stick around? I'll be here to let you guys know. This is the Ben Daniel Podcast. I appreciate all the support. We are in the venue tomorrow night, Friday night. I look forward to seeing everybody there. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Take it easy.